Okay. Lies, dream is lie. La da da, la dee dee da. I forgot to prepare things again. But that's okay. It takes but a moment. Let's go ahead and make sure this is set up. We'll do one of these. Keyboard, get back over here. Yeah. Rearranging my entire desk. Ooh. There we go. Writing a tweet. Because I forgot to do it beforehand. There we go. Boom. Wunderbar. Alright. Minimize that. Fantastic. Alright. Let's get started, shall we? Controller. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, welcome to the Flat Park Courthouse. My name is Tyler Cohen, and I'll be presiding over today's proceedings. And on the dock today, we've got something a little different. It's a puzzle game, murder mystery, point and click, which is a little weird on a PlayStation controller. Yeah, the game today is Tangle Tower. I know literally nothing about this game, other than the fact that it's a murder mystery. It's point and click, and it has a fantastic art style that I found extremely charming, so I bought the game. This game gives you 3 options for controlling. You can use just standard, like, left or right stick and X to move the cursor and select things. You can use the extremely wonky motion controls, which I opted to not do. Or you can use the little touchpad that the PlayStation 4 has, which is what I have chosen to do. I like it for its scrolliness, but for selecting things, it's a little awkward, I have to admit. So we're going to start the game. Oh, see, look at this. Look how charming this is. Main file. Oh, the beginning. Yes. Select. Also, it apparently is voiced, so I don't have to read. Alright, I'll be perfectly honest with you. At least 60% of my interest in this game comes from the design of this character alone. Alright, let's select her.
You ready, Sally?
Her name is Sally, apparently. I guess this is me. His hair is very close. That's almost a pompadour. I think we can use our imaginations and say that, yeah, that's a pompadour.
Grimore, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
It has not been that long.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read it?
Already, mystery is afoot.
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Ooh. Alright. Okay, so I do get to do a little bit of reading after all. Case file. Murder victim, Freya Fellow, 19. Died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, 58. Location, Flora's Tower. Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Should I read this like a hard-boiled detective? I feel like I couldn't keep that up. I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't watch noir stories. Freya Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound in her chest. On her chest. No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint. It was discovered to be blood. Blood. Blood? Blood. 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 Tangle Tower. A small painting on a scrap of paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. It is surrounded by a circular lake. The water is an unusual mix of colors. The lake is enclosed by sheer, pale cliffs. They're too steep and smooth to climb. Tangle Tower is currently home to both the Fellow family and the Pointer family. Alright, that's all we know so far. Can I check the map? I would like to check the map. Oh, it's adorable. Look at that. I love this. I'm assuming we click on this to move. Can I talk to Sally again?
So, who do you think did it?
I have no idea.
Sally, you know full well we haven't met a single suspect yet. We haven't even been to the crime scene.
Still, I reckon I've got it all worked out.
Alright, so we've got Sally and Grimoire. I guess Grimoire is our perspective character. That's fun. Alright, let's head to the... whatever this place is. The gardens. Oh my gosh, really? So... what is this?
And it's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Oh my god, it's an honest-to-goodness point-and-click adventure. Jesus.
Any fish in there?
I'm gonna be perfectly frank with you. I have never been very good at these. My experience with point-and-clicks is, you know, Spy Fox and Putt Putt, Freddy Fish and Darby the Dragon. Those sorts of games.
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
So we'll see how this goes.
It's a cassette tape.
Well, it's probably ruined at this point. Worst case scenario, this becomes like a multi-part series, which would be fun.
Or it used to be.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's not usable. Damaged tape. The cassette tape has been damaged by water. The ink on the label is blurred and illegible. Okay. Boop. Click the thing. Oh man. I have the slightest inkling of a feeling that just dragging my thumb over the touchpad on the PlayStation controller might give me a little bit of a cramp. We'll see. Okay, nothing else there. I don't think. Onto the main entrance. The Tangle Twir.
Oh.
What?
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh. Oh.
Oh yeah. Tangle Tour.
Oh my god, this game is awesome. I love it so far. We are 5 minutes in and I'm in love with it. It appears to have the same sense of humor I do, which is fantastic.
Twir.
Can I pick up the O? Can I put it back?
Oh.
Okay.
What?
Oh.
There's an O on the floor. Yeah, Tangle
Tangle
Twir. We made the joke. There's an R here.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
Yeah. Let's see, what else can we look at? What is this, a letter?
Is that an envelope?
Envelope, whatever.
It's been opened, but the letter's still in there.
Oh, it was a letter.
Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
Who cares?
No, definitely.
Alright. Open letter. The envelope has been ripped open. There's a single piece of paper inside. The combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Alright, this is more information. Damage tape. Letter, blah, blah, blah. What is this? Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. I wonder if I can do it with the tape. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. That one mark sticks out. It's not a mark, it's just like debris. Detritus from the pond. Or the fountain, whatever it was. Alright, let's ring the bell.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not?
She makes a good point.
It's a little melody.
Okay, it's highlighted, that's important. Anyone gonna come and let us in? We're gonna have to knock.
Don't think it's locked.
Oh, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
Sure, what?
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Alright, I guess, Ooh, we can go 2 different directions. What's a slider? Okay, not too huge. Oh yeah, the touch controls are a little wonky.
Let's head to the crime scene first.
Oh, fine.
It's at the top of the West Tower, I think.
You say so. The Grand Hall. Oh man, things to see. So West Tower. Alright, so we got the, what was it, the Fellow family and the Pointer family? What is this?
It's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it.
I mean, besides the weeds, probably?
Anymore.
Ooh. Alright.
A big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
Can I do this too?
This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
How very P-ceptive of you.
Alright, so this is great. Sally is fantastic. I like the incredibly, flat delivery of these. Alright, well, it's your West Tower. That would be the Fellow Tower.
It's not locked.
Which means we can go in. We've established. Stairs. Oh, my goodness. Oh, alright. Lots of rooms. Flora's Tower. Ooh. Okay. Fabergé egg.
Let's take a look at that painting first.
Aw. Shouldn't we talk to this lady first?
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
Flora Fellow?
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
Painted portrait. Freya was unable to finish the painting, as she died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood. 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 Sorry, I'm not gonna do that joke again. Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, for those unaware.
I wonder if all of Freya's
Ooh.
paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
Oh. Something very strange about how Freya was killed. Oh my god, this game is so charming. Oh, interesting. Okay, okay. Okay, so it was used to knock out... He's holding a knife tipped with... Okay, there's obvious... Flora's portrait. He's holding a knife tipped with blood. Because Freya put it there? Because Freya was going to eat it? I don't think so. Because it stabbed Freya. I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch, don't you think? I mean, I guess we'll just go with the obvious conclusion.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
What? You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Mm-hmm. Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
This is fantastic. Oh, I guess I do have one more point and click experience. I played like one of the... Oh, what was that DS game? Professor Layton. I played at least one Professor Layton game. An unfinished painting. Alright, can we look at other things now?
Is that an egg? An egg with bird feet.
It's also covered in gemstones. What a completely ordinary object.
I want to look closer. Oh god, it's a puzzle.
I think it's a container for something.
Those gems look like they come off.
Swap the positions of the gems. Rotate the egg to see a clue on the back. Okay. Right. Interesting. Alright, I think I get it. This was the... Oh, this is the hint. This is the one we have to switch. So each one of these lines corresponds with the line over here. Like, there's the same shape, though they're in different orientations. So we just have to... Okay. How do I would like to... How do I do this?
Nope.
Did you check the clue on the back of the egg? I'm pretty sure it explains where to put each of the gemstones.
Well, it does, yeah, but... How do I get them to move? They just sort of snap back. Oh god, this is so awkward. Alright, so this one definitely goes on this. It goes to the one that's on the inside? There's no one on the inside. It goes on the short side, so it goes to the left. Aha! There we go. Alright, the other side is a green star. Oh, that is very awkward. Trying to actually like, keep the cursor in the same position while I'm pushing down on the touchpad. A little strange. Alright, short side is the triangle. There we go. Long side is the circle. There we go. What next? Let's do this one. 2 diamonds. Alright. The rupee looking gems. Come on. There we go. Let's see, there's this one that makes a square. Short side is a star. Long side is a rhombus. There we go. So this star goes here. No, it doesn't. Whoopsie. It's the one below that. I pay attention. And rhombus. Yes, alright. So we got this shape. There's a red gem where this hump is, and the other one's a circle. Ah, these are just swapped. go, and we're missing... Ah, this one. Swiggle should be a triangle. Yeah, that should all be right. I believe. Hmm. Yes, yes. Okay, so I think I did it.
Just gonna rest my brain.
What do you mean? I
Is
definitely did it
that
right,
an
right?
egg? An egg.
It's also
Yes, 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 look closer.
ordinary.
Do I have to do it all again? I think I have to do it all again. Ah. Well, that's a shame. Anyways. Come on. Get in there. So let's see. This one, triangle and rhombus. I believe it's triangle, rhombus. The two rupee looking things go in the big long one. I think. No. It's this one. I'm a fool. Come on. The touchpad is definitely going to add a layer of difficulty. Let's do this. We'll go up here. What was I just doing? This is a star. So it should be triangle, circle. Wait. Is triangle on the short side or the long side? Let's do the short side. Yeah. Okay. And then square. Star goes on the short side. Oh, I see.
That's the one.
Oh, alright. So that's not asking for a hint. That's
Hey, not
trying to
bad.
solve it. That's like the solve thing.
Did it unlock? What's in there?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
What was that? Like a tutorial
Well,
puzzle?
I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg is a clue, right?
Sure. Empty egg. Once unlocked, the egg can be opened. It's currently empty. The lining of the egg is a soft velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on 3 strange feet with pointed claws. Alright, gramophone?
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
Ooh.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
Oh, yikes. That's a humongous crack. The gramophone. It plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed towards the middle of the room. There is noticeable crack running through it. That's a little weird. All the way from the horn down through the tape deck. Can I look closer? There appears to be a rose here.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
Oh, new cassette tape to Freya. The cassette tape has a crack down the middle. There's a handwritten message on the label. To Freya. Cool. Come on, get it. Nope.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Sure, why not?
The whole room has a strange feeling about it.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
Oh, I guess I clicked on the room, not the gramophone. Try it. The gramophone can still be used to listen to audio cassettes. Seems kind of long.
It's piano music.
It's a recording of piano music. It plays for a short while before stopping. How long does it play? Oh, this is very nice. Oh, still going. Okay. Ooh. Liking this a lot so far. I wonder if this will have anything to do with the melody that plays when you ring the bell at the front door. Also, is there going to be like a, oh, you can play it in reverse and it says a message? Or play it fast and it plays it a different way or something like that. This is very nice. Soothing. I have to see if I can find the soundtrack for this. What is this game? It's Tangle Tower. It's like a point-and-click adventure game. I was browsing through the PlayStation store for things that were cheap, and this was here. It looked super charming, so I got it. Oh, yep, there's reverse playing, so there's definitely gonna be a message that's in reverse at some point in this game. Be kind, rewind. Especially gonna say this, you too. Very nice, Fitz. Hey, City, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Doing puzzle games today. Let's say under $5. Let's go! Exactly, yes. Is this a puzzle game? Yes, it's called Tangle Tower. It is extremely charming. Now, let's see if this thing can play. This was found in a fountain? You got a big robot today? That sounds awesome!
Weird.
Very weird. Need batteries for the shoulder lights? And they'll share pics? Ooh, very nice.
It's someone humming a tune.
I'm surprised this tape still works. It's a recording of someone walking outdoors, but a sort of humming melody can be heard. Ah, very distressing. Silent when in reverse. What happens if I fast forward it? Nothing? Alright, well, let's wind it back. Always rewind your tapes. That's just the polite thing to do. Alright. Yeah, murder mystery. The artist of this portrait of this woman seems to have been stabbed by her own painting. It doesn't make any sense. But that's why we're here, to solve the mystery.
The whole room as a strange
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
Yes. Alright, palette?
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Oh, brush and palette. The palette has a variety of paints loaded onto it. The largest is a blob of black in the middle. The paintbrush is still covered with dried red paint. Are we sure that's red paint? Can I look at that? Can I look closer at that? No? Okay. Also, that looks green. It's like a green-black. Can I look at the brush?
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting. Looks like she was still holding her...
Didn't
Nope,
even get a
it's the same.
chance to clean her
Same as
brush.
before. Let's see here. I am... Let's see here, trapdoor. I'm assuming that's where we came in. Can we look at the painting again?
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Philo.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
We already had this. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood. Alright, Flora, do you have anything to say for yourself? Oh, hold on, what is this?
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
Don't do that. Oh, our main characters are Grimoire, who is, I guess, our perspective character, and Sally.
Flora Philo?
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in
Big
some
hair,
distress.
yes.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
Oh, God, okay, Tell us about yourself.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it.
Fair enough.
We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
So I feel like it's pretty clear that the game wants us to suspect Flora first and foremost. Considering she was present when the murder occurred. The portrait of her has her holding a knife with actual blood on it.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
What's the vibe on these characters?
Was this something you had planned with
Grimoire
her
seems to be
ahead of time?
the
Was there something
goofy
special about
PI
yesterday?
type.
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried.
Sally is the very, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not flat, but maybe nonchalant? Nonchalant assistant? Or co-PI? Honestly, as far as I know, no one has contacted these two to come and investigate this. They're just sort of doing it.
Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya? She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible?
Yeah, also, I said this earlier, but like a good 60% of the reason why when I scrolled over this game I was like, I think I might want to check this out, was Sally's design. It's very fun, and I love it.
The outline of Freya Philo. Looks like she fell onto her back. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle. No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
So?
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Let's check the case file again.
Oh, okay. Murder victim, Freya Fellow, 19, died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow. Flora's tower, Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Freya Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. That's a bit odd. This reminds me of Tartakovsky cartoon designs. Ooh. Yeah, I can see we get that. No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint. It was discovered to be blood. Alright, well, I feel like we've done all we can here. God, this is so adorable. I guess we can go to any other room we want to. Let's go back to the main hall, just to see if anything has changed. Nope, I didn't look at this. What is this?
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Look closer. Oh my god. Okay. We have Lord Fellow and Lady Fellow, Lord Remington and Lady Remington, Lord Pointer and Lady Pointer. Oh. Okay. Family trees. Here we go. Where? Wait. I'm confused. So we've got Lord Fellow and Lady Fellow had Flint Fellow and Felix Fellow. Flint married Emily Everstone, and they had Fitz Fellow. Lord Fellow also had a child with Selena Stonetop, which produced Felicia Fellow, and she, along with Damien Dusk, produced Freya. I was gonna say nonchalant for Sally as well, but she seems downright gloomy and dour. I wouldn't say that. She sort of has like the too cool for school vibe, you know what I mean? Like, she definitely still has a sense of humor. She's definitely not like a downer in any way. Oh, I see, okay. So Flora is the child of Lord and Lady Remington. And she had a child with Felix Fellow, who was Fiona Fellow. So there's Richard Remington, who is no relation. The Pointers had Percival and Pandora. Buck Breckley. So Pandora and Buck gave us Penelope Pointer, and Primrose Remington and Percival Pointer gave us Poppy Pointer. These names are so adorable. Alright. Perhaps aloof Edgelord? Yeah! I could see that. Let's see, let's go to this place. I wanted to go here before, but they wanted me to go up to the top first. Hello! Person in cape? Before I talk to you, I'm gonna look at this bench.
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point,
Oh,
but
gosh.
someone scratched it off.
Of course. Not gonna let me look closer? Can I examine it,
There's
please?
a metal plaque on
Is
the
there a
bench.
message?
I think that
Uh-huh.
someone scratched
Nope.
it off.
Mushroom. Okay, there's the entrance. I like that. You can actually see different locations from other locations. Alright. Clock?
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
Let's look closer. Puzzle
I'm
time!
guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Rotate the dials until all 4 hands are in the correct position. Okay. How can I tell? Oh, dear. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Okay, each hand has its own pattern that I'm trying to fit into something else. Oh boy. This is gonna be extra hard because I'm doing touchpad controls. Is that a 6 or a 9? Interesting. This is just straight up a 2. What is this one supposed to be? Okay, there's definitely, these are supposed to be numbers. I'm assuming this is gonna be 3. Okay. And I'm gonna do this one until it's 6 or 9. Oh gosh, this sort of went on by its own. What is this one gonna be? I assume 9. Oh, I see. Okay, this one needs to be at the top. Okay. Ooh, interesting. How do these move in relation to one another? Exactly opposite. All right. These two. 90 degrees. All right. Interesting. It feels like... No, it's a 12. 3, 6, 12, 9.
Nope.
No!
So, moving any of the hands turns the adjacent hands in the opposite direction.
Is it the other way then? Is this supposed to be 6 and this 9?
It's like cogs on a machine.
So I want this one to be on the other side then. But this will move that here. Interesting. Interesting, okay. Certainly a brain teaser. Let's bring this over here. I can bring this over here. That gives 3, 6, 12, 9?
I guess that's wrong.
Ah!
Did you work out what direction each hand needs to be facing?
I feel like I have.
Each one ends with a little hoop. Try looking through the hoop and ignoring the rest.
I get that. Like, this one needs to be a 6 then? So I need to get this 12 back up to the top. Maybe this just needs to be 9. Oh, I see. Alright, let's do this. And then turn these two. And then these two.
No, that was it.
Hey, got it. Okay.
Nice work.
I try to get you with the 6 and the 9. It's great that I'm just ignoring this person.
What's in the box?
Tinkering with this little box at their feet.
A little tool thing? Looks like a telescope. But I'm not actually sure what it is.
A small lens. A small brass tool with a curved glass lens. It has a screw at the base. Cool. Can I look at the mushroom?
You ever see a mushroom that big before?
That is the appropriate level of concern on Grimoire's
Not
face
in real
there.
life.
Alright. Can I look at this dragon statue?
It's a sea serpent,
Sea serpent. My mistake.
turned into stone by a wizard.
If you say so. What happened to its head?
See, that's what I mean. Like, she's not a downer.
Beheaded. By the same wizard.
She's the goth chick. That's really all it is. Hello, friend. Or not.
Oh, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I like your
I'm
weird
Sally,
collar.
and this is my sidekick, Grimoire.
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh.
Nice.
Rival
Hawkshaw's
detective.
a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya fellow
Not enough. Have a
case
nice stream.
too,
Thanks,
are you?
Fitz. You have a good
That is
sleep.
classified information between
Thanks for
myself
stopping
and
by.
the client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
Well, can you tell me about yourself?
It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. Five
Very
and a half
precise.
days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so?
I really like this game so far.
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating
What?
every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers is one of the last on my list.
Why,
Did you
though?
find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite.
Interesting. So she was here before the murder happened.
Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than
Okay.
at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled, that much was clear, but sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
Interesting. Water. It's definitely gonna be a lot of unpacking of the interpersonal relationships of the Fellow and Pointer families. Can I look at her desk?
A wooden trunk that opens up into a full desk.
I want one. A giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
AKA a greenhouse. A little bridge leading back to the gardens.
Okay, well. We can go to the greenhouse. Is that a pear?
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
I guess I just took it. A potted fruit. A potted fruit with a hard gemstone-like skin. The soil in the pot is an unusual blue color. There's a beetle.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers.
Is that fruit? It's shaped like fruit.
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
Oh my god. I just noticed this guy standing in the corner. Menacingly. Oh god, no, please.
Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening.
Are you sure about that? Alright, before I click on this intimidating son of a gun,
A little chart of, actually I have no idea what it's about.
let's see. Puzzle time? Oh god. Oh no, I don't know these symbols, I'm not aware. Pi is first, backwards 3 is 2. This one's omega, right? That's 3. Curly Q is 4. Eyeball is 5. 6 is a snake. And 7 is key? I think that's what that one is. There's also beta, alpha, and these two, which I'm not super familiar with.
Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
Weird.
Greek letters, I think.
Hi.
Kinda reminds me of a periodic
Okay.
table.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
Same. Alright, let's click on this scary guy. Oh, his eyes glowed?
We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry. Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay, so
why are
he's
you so
Fitz.
tall?
What?
I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, Sally's definitely the favorite character so far.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the
What
plants?
do you mean?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again,
What?
but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA. Sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No. I'm just the gardener.
Okay.
I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did
Okay.
you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my
Okay.
room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
Alright, well, let's see what he has to say. So he went up to his room. He's a fellow, so it was going to be on the fellow side. Okay.
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then
It's a garden on the
it
rooftop.
wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human.
Hmm.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that?
Poppy was.
Flora's room was locked.
Okay.
That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
Interesting. Can I click on him? No, okay.
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
Good, good, good.
This could be interesting.
Let's go there later. God, you are so intimidating. I want to go back to the family tree.
What is
I
that?
think it's a family tree.
Okay. So Fitz is Flint and Emily's kid. He was with Poppy. Who was Penelope with? Can I look at that anywhere? Aha! Alright, this is very convenient. Oh my goodness. I was kind of hoping that there would be something I could do to, like, get that again. His whole breakdown. Oh, that's a lot of information. Alright. Anyway, it wants me to go up to his room, but I want to go to the pointer side. Oh, it's Penelope. No. Poppy? I'm never gonna get this. What's this?
Whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
What?
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
Oh, it's this. Okay. Ooh. A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. There's a noticeable crack running along the length of the statue's horn, just like the gramophone. Inside the horn and on the ground below are various shards of cracked glass. Also, Poppy is playing the piano, which is... What's the point of this? That's the same song. So that would indicate that Poppy made the tape for Freya? Oh gosh. That's okay. So is her thing that she's goth, but she's also really into cutesy stuff? Candles.
1 old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
I think so, because I'm not seeing a problem. Other than the fact that, you know, lit candles next to books.
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted. Are you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
Yikes. Alright. Tell us about yourself. Oh.
I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away
Okay.
in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
Okay.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody?
Fine. I didn't realize we could, do this.
Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when
What?
somebody else has touched the piano.
Okay, so someone else made the crack tape? What about the
It was
gramophone?
my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
Interesting.
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Right. Let's see. I should definitely go back to the other 2 I've talked to so far and see if they have anything else they want to say.
This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
Interesting. Tell me how it fits.
Softly does the flower grow.
Oh,
All
okay.
in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way.
Oh, okay.
Heart of head, but free of mind. Unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond. Behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied.
Okay.
It's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
Is this something that's gonna happen with every single character? Like they're all just gonna start doing slam poetry?
With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
Okay. Now that almost reads as like a suspicion on Hawkshaw, but it might be more suspicious on the employer, who we still don't know the identity of.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Wow, alright. Do you have a poem for yourself?
That's
Oh.
me. I'm on a list of murder suspects.
Oh, God.
Always thought that would be kind of cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
Alright. I should probably ask everybody about everything, but
Oh, you've been to the greenhouse? What did you think?
Impressive, I guess. But kind of unsettling, with Fitz lurking in the shadows the whole time.
Yeah, he does that.
Alright, let's get her account of yesterday.
3.5 hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5.
Thanks.
Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
Alright, well, let's get a statement.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's
Okay.
tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I
Okay.
told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Alrighty.
All right.
Dong.
Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
Well, we'll get to it. Kinda wanna go back to Hawkshaw specifically. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, yo. Can I ask you about some people? Flora.
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps. An hour here or there, sporadically.
Wow.
Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
Interesting.
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that
Interesting.
I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, detective.
Come on. Alright, well,
I'll say this. He's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse. But I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers. In secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
restless?
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite.
Alright, tell us yourself, Hawkshaw.
314 cases solved.
Impressive.
And 14.
That's fantastic. Alright, small lens.
This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
Oh, it does,
And,
okay.
What is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
And it was in the
Trace
clock
particles,
box.
dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client.
Interesting. What do we make
You've
this
got
empty
it
egg?
open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty.
Alright, so she clearly thinks Flora is the culprit. Unless she thinks that Flora was hiding the thing, whatever it is that she's looking for. Let's see here.
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
I can.
No.
Alright.
The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
Oh, man. Hawkshaw is a fantastic foil for Rumor. Alright, let's talk to... God, what's this guy's name again? Dink? Fitz, right. Does
Have you
Rachel
met this
Fitz.
guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes. Doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, that's... It was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see. Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong?
Not really.
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working. Sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me
Okay.
this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind.
Huh. It's a little weird, but okay.
She questioned me,
About what?
my work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell.
I mean, she said that she searched it, right? Or did she not? I'm already forgetting things.
I like
Goldfish
Flora.
memory.
I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone.
Okay, that seemed a little specific. Tell me about the fruit.
This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gem-stony.
Sometimes. You never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny and edible fruit?
You look at it.
That makes sense. Alright, let's continue exploring. Let's see here. This is the library? Alright. Got bookshelves that are labeled. Was it a snow globe?
Is that a snow globe?
Of sorts.
Look closer. Okay.
Hey, look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
Interesting. I'm assuming this is not like broken glass, it's meant to be the mountains. It's in this... A souvenir. Okay, I guess... Sure.
What's in those bottles?
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
Perhaps. Alright, this is obviously drawing attention.
It's an illustrated book about birds.
Birds.
And it's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or
Or...
it was left open for us to find.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
The bird book. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has particular feeding habits, and usually only eats the seeds of the Tantum amica, which I'm assuming is this one pictured here. Oh! See, this looks like a knife that is bloodied. So maybe... What's her name? Freya wasn't painting a knife, but one of these bird feathers. Okay.
Books about ancient history, I think?
These books are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Oh, wow.
Good excuse.
Thanks.
Geography?
Books about geography.
Skip.
Ha!
Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Oh, wow, yeah. Jeez.
Huh.
What about that one?
A book on the floor. Fundamental entomology.
I guess somebody dropped it.
Alright, so we know that Freya liked insects? Perhaps, maybe?
Books about space.
Space.
They're relatively untouched. Sure. Why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
The search for new knowledge. The archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic.
I like the implied lighting effect here, where it's like all these beakers with colored liquids and then the reflections on the ground here. It's very nice.
A chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Look closer. Oh, God. Alright, so I'm assuming... Oh, no. 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 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am desperately hoping that none of this matters, and it's all in like patterns here. Oh. Big yikes.
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
Same.
Math equations.
Don't look at them for too long. You'll give yourself a headache.
Yeah, I will.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
That's gonna be important though, obviously. Alright, let's talk to Fifi?
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
Oh
May
my
I
god, her
talk to you, miss?
sideways
She knows we're
eyes.
here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me,
Oh no? How come?
because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis about the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator.
I like her.
You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to
Huh.
become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed
What?
a microscope?
Correct.
And what's
Oh,
that
I see,
thing
okay.
on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing.
Alright.
What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi.
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
Good. Alright, let's see. Can you tell me anything about this weird potted
The
fruit?
here has a unique chemical makeup. It makes them completely pointless. Unless you wish to cut it down and sell it as a precious stone.
It's not edible.
Depends
On what?
on the structural integrity of your teeth.
Yeah, I would not be able to eat that. I have very weak teeth.
This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
No, I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
Ouch.
Oh yes, it has a telescopic lens. It could only be used for looking at things that are far away.
Oh. Okay, so we see a contradiction with Hawkshaw's testimony. Alright. But I guess... I don't know, how would... Yeah.
Freya is is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway,
Yeah, that
I'm
bloody
very
knife, quote
interested in
unquote, is
what
definitely
Flora
just a
is
feather.
painting. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it
You
in
could
the
be totally
first
wrong
place?
about that.
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Of course.
Alright, no, I haven't actually asked anyone about the case file. Tell me about the bird book.
Do you know who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time.
Interesting. Brush and palette.
The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the
Weird.
painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer.
Well, let's go down the list.
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, unknown.
Wait, she's
Likes,
44.
Unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond.
Okay.
Name, Haksha. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard. Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist. Deceased. Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me. There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this. She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became, 1, increasingly independent, and 2, increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not.
Interesting.
If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of you are friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
Interesting. So she doesn't seem like she would have a motive at first, but we've already seen that she, gets lonely, I guess? Like when Poppy wasn't gonna hang out with her, she went into her room and cried. So maybe Freya becoming more independent and isolated could have caused some issues there? I don't know, I wouldn't clock her as a real potential suspect. It's hard to make actual good arguments when, like, the best friends are potential suspects.
Name, Poppy Pointer. Age, 19. Profession, Apparently Poppy has defaced my notes. Under profession, I had of course originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Okay.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well,
She is very short and he is very tall.
6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So, what's the problem with him?
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a knife.
Interesting. That's a pointer tower. And that was a week ago.
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, amateur microbiologist. Likes, the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes, the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes, kindly disregard the
Relatable.
polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tangle Tower a long time ago.
And
Okay.
what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent.
Interesting. Alright. Let's get her statement.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
Jesus.
She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
Interesting.
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Can't wait.
We'll go there later. Interesting. I want to go back to the Grand Hall. I don't know why I'm so fixated upon the family tree.
What is that?
I think
It's a family tree, Grimoire. But I feel like this game will be a lot easier to understand once I understand this. Like, once I have this committed to memory, or at least slightly committed to memory, it'll be a lot easier. It's also interesting that Fiona is, like, front and center here. Also, Freya, Fiona, and Poppy all along the same line. Penelope's sort of in the back. And Fitz slightly up above. Okay, Fiona and Fitz are cousins, because their dads are brothers. And they share the single grandparent, which would be Lord Fellow. I wonder if there's any significance to the nameplates themselves. Because the Lord and Lady Fellow, and then Flint and Felix both have the same one, but Fiona's the only other one that has that same nameplate. It seems weird. Maybe that's like a blood purity thing? Like, Selena Stonetop was not... What's the word I'm looking for? When, like, a family has like really rich blood, or they're a really prestigious bloodline. So we have these three main families here. Stonetop obviously was not one of them. So Felicia Fellow wasn't really a pure blood fellow. Or a quote-unquote well-bred fellow. So Fiona is the only, like... I don't want to say pure blood. That sounds really bad, you know? But I feel like that's going to be important somehow in the story. Like, Penelope is not a pure blood pointer. Only Poppy has that because she's the daughter of a pointer in a Remington. So Percival Pointer is the professor. Fitz's dad, Flint, we don't really know anything about him. We know Flora, we don't know any of the Remingtons yet. Oh boy. Alright, where else can we go? I could backtrack and see what everyone else thinks of everyone else. I feel like I'm most interested in hearing what Hawkshaw has to say about people.
Considerably intelligent. And powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition. No focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely.
That's true.
A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that. Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps?
Perhaps. To Freya, like this... If it wasn't Poppy... She did say that there was someone entering the music room without her knowledge.
You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint. Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
It's definitely not a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
Because I'm convinced at this point that's not a knife in the painting. Because the bird book, I'm gonna see if I can talk to Flora again. Can you tell me about yourself?
Anything we should know? Any hobbies? Besides staring out the window?
We spoke to Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off.
I get the feeling that Flora's going to be very important to this. Tell me about your daughter.
You spoke to your daughter, Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her.
I'll take that as a yes.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials? Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker. Grimoire, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins.
Fantastic.
Were you close with Freya? How are you two related?
I mean, they're pretty distantly related based on
Did
the
you
family
kill
tree.
Freya?
Grimoire!
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
Alright, I want to ask her about the book.
Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
I really thought she was gonna say something there.
So did I. Gosh. Alright. Nope, okay.
Did you ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
It's definitely not a knife. It's definitely a feather. Hold on a second. What's the book? Okay, let's see. Well, let's continue exploring, shall we? Where to go next? We have all the bedrooms that we can go into, except for this one. Also, we can't access the garden yet. I imagine we'll get that once we go into either Poppy or Fitz's room. Let's go here. Okay, Penelope. Bird theme, interesting.
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
What is this?
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Interesting. Love those. Mirror?
I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Amazing. Birds?
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is.
What else?
An especially fancy cage.
Oh. Is that one of the birds from the book?
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Birds and cage. 3 brightly colored birds in a heavy ornate cage. I'm going to be upset if this is somehow a part of a puzzle. Alright, Penelope.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Oh
Huh?
god.
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyways.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel.
Oh.
Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit,
Him?
but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Well, Fitz, right?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our two families.
Is there a
I find it
feud? I
much
haven't seen
easier
any
to
real
stay
evidence
out
of
it
that yet.
altogether.
Uh-huh. Does he actually participate in this relationship?
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
Okay.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He
Okay.
didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not
Yikes.
feed themselves?
Of course. And they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
Oh. God dang it. Alright.
A fellow
Tell me about
bird
people.
enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
Okay.
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Alright, tell me about Fifi.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, I mean...
Penelope seems really
You
lonely.
don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
We'll get to Freya last.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input. Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be
What?
lies.
Oh, what?
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Yikes. Okay. Some bad blood between these two. Are they cousins? I'll have to look at the family tree again.
She's a most unsavory little...
Oh.
She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on
The bird arms are
judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
I did not.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her. but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
That specific set of lines definitely makes me not suspicious of Penny, which makes me suspicious of her. I don't know how hard the devs of this game go in trying to, like, send me down the wrong path.
Oh, she's beautiful! Who is she? Wait, is that me?
For a book.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals. Extinct? Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one, well, was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
Ooh.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
That's a shame. Birds in cage.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you. Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple.
Tabitha,
Tatiana
Tamara,
is
and
the
Tatiana.
oldest. Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
What? So that's not a bird? It's a hat?
I don't know what that is.
Fine. Tell me about this.
Delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
I think he said as much. I really should be asking people about this open letter.
I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence. Bless her.
Weird. God, the music in this is so good. Alright, well, let's get your statement.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room.
Sometime, huh?
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping
Lines
to
up.
catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was
Interesting.
looking for Uncle.
Wait,
He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too. Standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
interesting. So Felix was in Fitz's room.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
No, not yet. I need to see what Hawkshaw has to say about Penny first. Penny.
I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoilt child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse.
Sounds about right. Let's check this out once more.
I think it's a family tree.
I want no. I want
Stairs.
stairs. Fantastic.
What is?
I think it's a family.
Look closer. Okay. Why was Felix in Fitz's room? That's interesting. So we've not. Oh, okay. There's a telescope here. Let's see what's happening up here, shall we? Before we go investigate the rooms. That's unsettling. Okay, man with an interest in
A spyglass to the stars.
astronomy.
Volumes 1 to 12.
They're in very good condition.
Okay.
You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
I would look at it.
I can appreciate that.
Wait a minute.
Oh no, it's the Greek letters. Maybe? I don't know,
Look in
actually.
the middle. Sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Rotate the 5 planets, the sun, the moon around the middle. Uh-oh. Okay, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Alright, the moon reflects. I see, I see, I see. Interesting. That just sort of clicked into place. I like that. And then Mercury goes here. Alright, that wasn't too bad.
No, that was it.
Nice work. Did you hear that? Something unlocked.
Ooh.
There's a little hatch underneath. What's in there?
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
Research. A beetle. A gold beetle. Golden beetle. Various research notes and diagrams. Is that 4 or IV? I guess it doesn't really matter. The golden beetle, named for its exoskeleton, composed of a mineral approximately 90% identical to gold, has a lifespan of several years. It fends off predators with a loud hiss, records of over 95 decibels, and by being completely undigestible. This mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those that see it. Okay, so it makes a loud noise. It's made of a metallic carapace. I think we know what our mystery noise was. What is this? This picture. I would like to look at this picture, please. Do the thing. Dang it.
It's tidier than my desk. Oh, the notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
Truth.
A
Thank
picture
you.
frame.
With no picture.
It's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
What do you mean? There's beams of sunlight coming
It's
through.
also daytime.
Also daytime. Alright, let's talk to this weirdo.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed,
Yes.
my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Suspicious. Alright, Elden Ring NPC, let's see what you have to say about yourself.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And?
I don't like the way
a
you said
professional
that.
astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to.
He doesn't sound bitter at all.
I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the Cosmos I say hi.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for
This
the
guy
mind.
is absolutely the
Did
most
you see anyone
suspicious.
else?
Penelope
right off the
and
bat.
Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Wait.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
Interesting. He said he likes to hang out next to the fountain?
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the
That
most
checks out.
peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Interesting. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot with this guy. Tell me about your daughter.
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh no, I can personally vouch for her innocence. She never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
What do you
Where
mean?
did she go?
Away.
What do you mean playing field?
She went away.
What do you mean away? Okay. Interesting. Tell me about Penny.
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time,
What do you mean?
till she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
Okay. Clearly does not have a very good opinion.
What do you want me to
Fellows.
say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother.
Right.
Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the Fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived. Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You
Right.
sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths.
Different scales,
Literally.
really. Okay, lots of suspect feelings going on with
I
Mr.
don't
Pointer here.
especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Uh-huh.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the
What?
moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
That's a lot.
Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
Alright, so it seems like Professor Pointer probably hired Hawkshot to look for that golden beetle.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but, I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
I mean, she's not a fellow by birth.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see?
Right.
It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Maybe it's for bird watching?
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
Sure.
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same.
I mean,
That's
Plastic.
a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put.
should I ask him about the golden beetle?
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the
Sure.
first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
Right.
Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
Wasn't bloody, though.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all.
Right.
Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
She makes a good point. Alright, let's get your statement, you creepy
I was
old
at
man.
my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was
That's
locked,
not what Hawkshaw
but I could
said.
hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Right. Whoop.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope.
I mean, we've been told twice now that it's a telescope, not a microscope.
Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Yeah, let's go now, actually.
This little microscope thing, you said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
It's the beetle.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't
Indeed.
worry. We already worked out what you're searching for.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you
Interesting.
questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He's not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
It's not a microscope. We've been told several times that it's a telescope.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
Oh, okay. Oh, what's wrong with Hawkshaw's microscope? Okay. So the handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, which makes it the murder weapon now. That should be right. I think.
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
Oh god.
A detective, naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A
Oh.
fool's errand, to be sure, but
Depth.
a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Okay.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
Theft.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
Right. That tracks. Like, we heard the loud metallic sound. And according to that piece of evidence, it makes a very loud noise.
It's a big stone dais.
Biggest one I've ever seen. First one, too.
Haven't been back to the starting spots for a while. This one specifically, I want to check out. Egg.
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
Also these. Wait, wasn't there's the fishman with the trumpet?
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster
Playing a harp.
playing a harp. Hang on a second.
Oh,
This
God.
Isn't just a regular statue, is it?
What is this?
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this just yet.
Ah, okay, so we need more
Let's
information.
come back later. It must do something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Harp statue. An old weathered statue of an amphibious creature holding a large harp. Symbols are engraved on each of the harp's 4 column segments. Interesting. What about this thing?
Spooky. What do you
Indeed.
think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No.
Fantastic.
It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
Yeah, let's see. What is that? That's just vines.
It's
Never mind.
quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say it.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
Alright. Is there anything else at the front? Probably not. Bird bath. I didn't look at this.
It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune.
Okay, that's highlighted. Ugh, you can't do this to me.
Please don't do that.
Alright, what is this? Hold on.
Why is the sky yellow?
Not everything is a mystery, Grimoire. The sky can be whatever color it likes.
Fair enough. This is what I wanted to click, though.
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent, wooden wind chimes.
And this archway?
It's just an archway, but it seems a little ominous.
It does, doesn't it? It has that face on
Like walking through it might give you bad luck.
Too late.
it? Alright. After the entrance, I want to hear the bell again.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody. Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go?
No, I think
No,
we'll
we
just
did that. If we... So that's probably a statue of... Going back into here and looking at this again.
What is?
I think it's a family tree.
Probably a Remington. Richard Remington, maybe? Or maybe Lord Remington? go ahead and investigate. Actually, before I investigate, there's some more things to ask people. Anything about...
You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
What do you know about Penny?
Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know.
Birds in cage.
Do you know anything about these birds?
Birds.
Or birds in general?
Apparently not.
Do you know anything about this beetle?
No, okay. No, okay.
Is this
Gramophone?
your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
Primrose. Huh. Interesting. Who else do we need to talk to about people? I don't think I ever talked to Hawkshaw about the professor.
Professor Pointer is a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself.
Okay.
What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
Okay, we already talked to you about the golden beetle.
Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Maybe the beetle was in the egg?
Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
I see a
We're
piano,
working
I
on
see a
it.
bird,
That's a no, then.
I see a bell? Oh, it's the songs! All the tunes. Wait.
Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially bipedal. Although none of
Why
the
does everyone say
statues show
that?
the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
Anywho, hold up. Wait. Harp statue. I think we might be able to solve this now. No, well, we can't, no. It already said that we shouldn't be able to. But we know the tune for the bell, we know the tune for the humming, I'm assuming that's what the lips are. We know the piano tune, and we know the bird tune. We went here before we went to... Okay, hold on. I have to check. Just gotta make sure.
I'm still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
Yes. What do you mean? Oh, okay, yeah, this doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Let's come back later.
Okay, so yeah. That's still a mystery. Let's get more poems. Tell me about your father.
Eavesdrop what the stars are saying. Earthly tether, slowly fraying. Floating, helpless from the worst of jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet.
Interesting. Fifi.
Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
Interesting. I say that too much.
Feathers flashing in the light from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage.
Right.
That belongs to Flora, I think.
Probably.
What do you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What
Oh,
about
yeah.
the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird.
Weird.
You get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
I never showed her the empty
What
egg.
was inside?
Nothing.
Huh.
Alright. Let's see.
Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you?
Fair. I haven't actually looked at that in a while. It's been ripped open. There's a single piece of paper inside. The combination is drawn on the other side. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Does this have something to do with the harp puzzle, maybe? Alright, Fitz, let's see what you have to say about people. Creepy son of a gun.
Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects.
The birds.
He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
I guess you're right.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well,
Oh,
they make assumptions.
And how's
wow.
the
So
relationship
he's
been
actually
recently?
present.
Good. It's good.
He has a better opinion of her than I expected.
How odd.
Uh-huh.
I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details.
Poppy and Freya, huh?
That belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
It does. How about
That
this?
looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Okay. Bird
Penelope
book?
knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've
Anymore?
tried in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks.
Interesting. Tell me about people.
Name, Percival Pointer. Age, 57. Profession, none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh, yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me.
Definitely don't like each other.
Name, Penelope Pointer. Age, 27. Profession, ornithologist. Likes, birds. Dislikes, insects. Notes. Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her.
Except your hair color. Anything else I can show her? Harp statue.
The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on
I have a hunch.
We are.
Now this is interesting. Where did you find it?
in the astronomy tower.
And yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
Nope.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is the exact opposite of astronomy.
Yeah, you could.
I would not say that, however.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections
Hang in there,
between
Grimoire.
all matter in the universe, living or inanimate.
Huh. Empty egg.
That belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the Grand Hall.
Yeah, what's the deal with all the eggs?
Some people just like eggs.
I like eggs. Eggs are delicious.
Is she laughing?
The gramophone belongs to Poppy,
Right.
but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
Oh, it was recent.
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Clearly.
Right, but why?
I do not know why.
Okay.
Curious.
Alright. I think now it is time we explored some of these other rooms. Where to go first? So we have Fitz's room, we have Poppy's room, we have Penelope's room, we have Fifi's room. Who else? Let's go to this one. Oh, it's Freya's room. Yeah, we probably should have come here a bit earlier.
Did Freya paint those animals on her ceiling?
They're kind of simplistic.
Maybe she painted them when she was younger. Drawings taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden. One of them's holding a red rose.
Okay. A drawing of Poppy and Fitz standing in a garden. Fitz is holding a red rose. A drawing of Fifi. A drawing of Detective Hawkshaw. Right. I feel like the rose is significant. What is this? I kind of want to look at this first.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Okay.
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
Is that dirt on
It's
the
cool.
floor?
Looks like old mining equipment or something.
Even though we're halfway up a tower, someone's been tracking in mud from outside. It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
Neat.
To the casual observer, maybe.
Oh god,
They're
puzzle
not
time.
real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Yikes. Swap the brushes into the correct order. Arrange the paper to find a clue. Oh god, alright. Yikes. Huh? Huh. No. No. Oh boy. Nope. That angle's wrong. Not right there either. I have no idea. It seems like it goes pretty well together. Wait, no, let's probably go here, maybe? Nope, angle's wrong. Angle's wrong there as well. So would it be this? And then this? That lines up. Still doesn't make sense. That lines up. And this lines up. This lines up here. And this here. Come on. Okay. What does all of this mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting, interesting. So this would indicate brush shape, because we have the thin brushes and we have the thick brushes. So it wants to be... Wait, orange. Okay, that's the actual brush itself. Oh, okay. I see. So it's, we have an orange brush, one of the green bristles, a pink brush that's thin. Oh no, that's the fan. Maybe? Yeah. One of these two fan brushes, then one of the blue ones, probably this one. Okay, I think I've got it. Blue, and then...
I did it. What do I
Woo.
win?
Not bad. What was in the box?
What's in the box?
Just a photograph. Well,
Photograph?
most of a photograph.
Most. Okay. A photograph of two young girls, one with red hair, the other with green hair. The photo has a large piece missing. Seems to have been ripped off. Interesting. So, Freya and Fifi. Interesting. Seems I have something new to show some people.
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days. That painting is really something.
Very striking.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Ooh. Oh dear. Photo of painting. A small photograph of Freya's abstract. Oh my gosh. A small photograph of Freya's abstract painting. A piece of adhesive tape is stuck on it. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges. Wish I could interact with these somehow. That's probably all I can get from here.
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate. Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
It looks like a trapdoor to me.
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
Like it's meant to be like a storage
No
area.
windows either.
Oh. What is this? It's not a window?
Do you think this was always...
I don't know.
No windows either.
What I'm most interested in looking at... Wait. Okay, come on. Select the thing.
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really
She used to be
admires Freya.
way more, like,
Fifi's
girly.
loyalty to Freya is unshakable. I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Yikes.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes. Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that?
They're very thorny. Alright, so we gotta talk to Fifi as well about this photograph. What are the odds that she just laughs? Yo, Fifi!
This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off. It was
It was a
only
third.
a third.
Come on, just...
I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever.
Fair enough.
There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know, she hesitated there. Hey, Hawkshaw. There's a drawing of you.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference.
Fair enough.
A photograph of Freya could be important. A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
For real.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
Interesting. I feel like if I show Penelope the drawings, that'll get a reaction. Oh god. I'm never gonna get used to that. Let's go down the line.
Freya's best work, in my opinion. Although the photo doesn't carry the same energy as the real thing.
What do you think it's a painting of?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the subject matter? What's that big red thing?
Oh, I don't think it's that kind of painting. Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
2 people isn't a crowd.
Right, but if she was in the photo, then it'd be 3.
Checkmate.
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you in the rooftop garden, I think, with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done?
Okay. Kind of want to look at that photograph of the painting again. I know this is like, this can't be anything that they intended, but that photo reminds me a lot of Hawkshaw's back. Like the red mountain looks like a cape. Got the black, I guess, clouds up above that look like her hair. All right, let's cause some drama. Let's see.
How terrible.
You recognize it?
Color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
I'll keep that in mind.
Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Wow, wow, wow.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Huh.
Noted.
They did that's Freya's research. It's interesting.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's
Thought
cute.
so.
Oh yes, adorable. Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
Right.
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew.
That's often the case, isn't it?
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
Fantastic. I feel like I really should go back to the professor as well, but I really don't want to. I don't like that guy. Let's see. Nothing? Okay. Harp statue, maybe. No. Empty egg.
Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty?
Okay. Brush and palette. I hadn't talked to her about that. Nope. Okay. Phrase drawings. Nope. All right.
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter?
Cool. Anywho. Next room. How about this one? Oh, he looks sad. This guy paints miniatures.
Puffer fish?
Yes. It's also a lamp, for some reason.
It's cute.
What is it?
He's an imp.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh.
That's a great reaction.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
Ah, painted model. A wooden carving of a man holding a sword. The model has been hand-painted, but the paint is not skillfully applied. Yellow, blue, black, and white. Paints were found nearby. Yellow, blue, black, and white. I mean, looks like him. That's a creepy mask.
An old wooden mask.
Probably cursed.
Map?
A map with a dotted line and an X marked on it.
That's a very boring way to describe a treasure map.
Conch shell.
That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I hope so. It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure.
I'm sure we'll be fine. Box.
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it.
Alright. Oh dear.
What's
okay.
the deal with
okay.
that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
Use the treasure map to discover the combination for the chest's padlock. Ah! Oh my goodness. So what are the symbols we have here? We have a sea serpent, we have an X, we have a mountain, a palm tree, and a head, also a ship. Let's see, we've got a sea serpent, palm tree in the distance, mountain, and X. Sea serpent is closer than the mountain. So let's try going close to far. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright. So we're looking at an X first. And there's a dragon. Or a sea serpent. Oh, it's this one right here. On the ship. So north I-5? Nope, don't want.
Nothing.
What?
Did you check the treasure map for clues?
I did.
And what about that painting on the chest itself?
Because that seems to be the case. Like, you view this. Maybe it's not close. Oh, I see. Here we go. It's this right here. It's west. Do we start from here then? So H6? H6 west?
I did it.
Woohoo!
What do I win?
Not bad.
What do we got?
What was in the box?
What's in the
More
box?
wooden models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Okay. A model resembling a child with green hair. That's... I keep forgetting her name. That is terrible. Because we have Flora here. Freya, right. Model resembling a woman with gray hair. Model resembling a red and white bird. That's going to be the bird with the feather. The ink dip? Yeah. And a model resembling a broad-shouldered man. Could that be the brother? Okay. Well, I guess I'll talk to him now. Hello.
Sir? Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
Secret door, secret door, secret door. Tell us about yourself.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer / treasure hunter. Yes, well,
Neat.
best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Ooh.
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is,
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help. But I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell.
Suspicious.
Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
A loud noise? Perhaps? Like a really loud noise? Alright, that's everybody. Alright. Tell us about yourself, Felix.
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Uh-huh.
Let's move on.
Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what
Oops,
do you
I guess I accidentally
reckon?
skipped.
See the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
Yikes. Guess... Tell me about
My
your daughter.
daughter Fiona. Our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Which is...
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
Ah. That's nice. I'm not particularly fond of Felix right now, but I love his theme.
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have
Layers.
an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman.
Well,
Poppy's
Poppy.
a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so different.
Different, like how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective, good with feelings. Fiona, not
so
so
much.
Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit
That's a way to
when
put
she
it.
was younger. Always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle. And he
Right.
really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile.
Yikes.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant to, because we both wear, red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item.
Yeah, we already went
Something
through that.
called the Golden Beetle.
Did that already.
Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
Interesting. If he is a treasure hunter and Freya was looking for that golden beetle, that gives him, I don't know really a motive, but it connects him to the whole thing a lot more closely.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people,
Is Flora a bird? Are these people birds? What is happening?
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially after, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather.
Right.
Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
I have taken
What about
many
her
looks at it.
inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old.
That's a
She
shame.
came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
This one. Let's see. Tell me about these painted
You
models.
found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course.
Right.
Surrounded by all her favorite people.
I'm assuming man with blue beard is
I've been
probably
carving
Felix's
for
brother.
a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can
Good
make
for you,
just about
Felix.
anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course, I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower. Safety first and
Sure they are.
all that. That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not?
Correct.
It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes.
That's fair enough, I guess. Bird book.
Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Where else would I
Really?
find an old book?
How odd.
What do you mean? Elaborate, please. Come on.
Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way.
Are
in a
you sure
good
about
way.
that?
My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea.
I mean, it's obvious why the photo's ripped, but still.
What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold.
Okay.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Right.
You know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall.
Uh-huh. Are all these people, like, anthropomorphized animals? Am I crazy? Because that's really how it feels.
Does Florin normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's see here. Brush and palette.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes. So we shall. I'm as confused as you are.
Uh-huh. Let's check the portraits.
It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they?
What do you
The
mean?
emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well,
It's a
as I was
feather.
saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
Come on. Alright. Give me your statement.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent? Perhaps. Uncertain as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Sure she did. Alright, well, thanks for the info, I guess.
Something about the image of Flora in the painting. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Okay, sure. Okay, come on. Wait, no, I want to do this thing first. Ah! I'll do this in a second, hold on.
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah,
Big air quotes
it's
there.
creepy. But we
Knife.
didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
I just noticed there is a trail leading from the paintbrush to the supposed blood splatter. Or I guess actual blood splatter?
It's not a knife. We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
We have the book with the bird. Bird book.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Crap. The painted knife was stolen by is actually just a feather from an ink-dip bird.
The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink-dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically.
And we
Is there
have
anything to suggest that the ink dip bird is red and white too?
Felix's thingings, his miniatures.
This little thing? I
Yes.
don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
Betrayed Flora, so she, what? To destroy later? Oh, geez. Okay, so... Was Penny's pet, so she kept... The experiment was Flora's pet, so she kept... Okay, so that's probably... So she destroyed it! So it was probably Flora's pet. Sting the bird. So she kept a single feather to remember it by.
The ink-dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
Maybe. Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
Alright, so she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But
Right.
where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally. This is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
It's probably the egg.
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. completely empty.
So where's the feather then? Oh,
Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not. Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
oh. Drawings of Flora and a small bird. There's a handwritten message on the back. These are for you, love Freya. Oh, man. Alright, well, let's talk to her about this.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
No? Okay.
You haven't seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
I'm not gonna show her Felix. Yeah, okay. Is there anyone else I can have her? Oh. I guess
We
the-
met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try.
Solid attempt. See, now we've all... Oh! Now we have to ask everyone about Felix, though. Start with Fifi. We'll end with Hawkshaw, and then we'll do the thing where we wrap up all the statements. Not that. This.
Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession, none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No.
Ouch.
Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the two possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct.
Okay, at least she's aware. Don't think she needs to see any of those. Let's get this guy out of the way.
There's something kind. I just expected a bit more from an
Oh,
astronomer.
does it not compare to all the other astronomy houses you've been to?
Alright, people.
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life.
Right.
And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
Is there anything he should see here?
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
Bigger thing. Haven't showed him this.
These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Anything to say about the
Poppy's
photo?
two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there.
Innocent specifically, huh? Oh, whatever. Let's go talk to Penelope. Ask her about Felix. That's not right. This one. There we go.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
Something tells me she's projecting.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
That's that's fair, honestly.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
Oh, harp.
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though.
Interesting.
If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
Yes. I probably should have asked Pointer about the statues just to see if he could tell me if that was Felix's brother, the one with the blue beard. Tell me about Felix.
Foregone drifter, holding fast. Days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom. Some four walls make around a room.
Okay.
How sweet.
Indeed. A poet and a pianist. I'm assuming that's just for seeing all of her poems. I thought he was gone for a second. I always forget that he's back here.
Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
Wow, that's like the most eloquent he's ever been.
That's quite sweet, really.
Sure. Can you say the same
Did
thing about
Freya
this?
draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back, too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
Alright. Aksha.
It's a big stone dais.
No.
I guess when I first one too.
There we go. Aksha.
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a
Interesting.
smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimor, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
I'm having fun.
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see. Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Kinda,
Nothing
actually.
worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious.
Go. Alright. Let's go form some conclusions.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all.
It only
to
took
see if
us
anything
3.5
stands out.
hours.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon. Then I heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
We left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
That's a long
I think
time.
she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
For the
They
most
don't
part.
just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Oh dear. Alright. That's very odd. Okay. Well, with all that being said, it has been about 3.5 hours. And I'd say this investigation is just about getting started. But I think it's time to call it there. Oh, this game is a lot of fun, actually. I'm having a nice time. Soundtrack is really pleasant. The characters are super fun. I like Grimoire and Sally. Fantastic protagonists so far, anyways. I feel like some of the details of the case so far were pretty obvious. Like, as soon as I found the book with the bird, it became clear, okay, the knife is actually the feather, so on and so forth. But beyond that, I'm stumped. I have no inklings as to who exactly it could be. You could probably say that's a pretty well-written mystery then, because it could be basically anyone, but also doesn't seem like it's anyone specifically. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what this game has in store, but we'll have to cover that next time. Because now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this court is adjourned. Thank you all so much for watching. Fitz and Satil, thanks for chatting for a bit. We'll resume this next week. Probably Wednesday, if I had to guess. I think so, that's what I have planned at the moment. But yeah, I don't know if we'll finish the game next time, or if we'll just make it to another stopping point. But either way, until then, you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.